Alright, passive line community. Sorry, I almost didn't recognize you with everything being HD and all. Keep your distance. Things in HD tend to be a little unforgiving, if you know what I mean. I'm just kidding, I couldn't stay away for long. So, what you been up to? Not much, same here. Actually, to be completely honest, I've been taking this huge break. I don't really know the rhyme or reason for it. I've been replying to many comments or forum posts or anything of the like. In fact, ever since I made those last 2 tutorials, I haven't really done a whole lot. But that's okay, because I'm back, bigger and better than ever. And YouTube community, I must say, what a marvelous upgrade you have received. If you don't believe me, take a look for yourself. Boom. Right there. Beautiful. Now I'll go ahead and admit, there's really no hiding it. The one thing that I dislike the most about this whole setup is the fact that this room echoes like crazy. It's way too live in here. Echo! Echo! But there's nothing much I can really do about that, because in my entire household, this is the best vlog location. Echo! I mean, you gotta admit, it's pretty neat with all the different boxes of stuff everywhere, right? The whole other place feels like home to me. Home! Echo! So now that I am back into this vlogging business, what am I going to talk about? Well, for starters, Star Wars, of course. Before Lucas sold Star Wars was kind of turned into a loaf of stale bread. Now, hopefully, Disney's going to take that stale bread, throw it out, start again with a fresh, new batch of bread, but still use the same ingredients. No, I'm not opposed to a new trilogy. But all of that's a whole different subject. What I'm concerned about is the games. Games. What is Disney going to do about the games? Well, so far, Star Wars 1313 has been announced that it will not be touched or changed in any way. It's still gonna keep pushing forward, just like they planned on doing ever since it was first announced. I always jump on the chance for another Star Wars game, but let me get down to the nitty-gritty, Passive Line fans. I want to talk about the one Star Wars game that I know is on everyone's minds, and that we all want to hear about. Battlefront 3. I can't believe it. He just said it. How dare he? Yes, Battlefront 3 is on the minds of many Star Wars gamer fans, and it's been tossed around between many different companies, and has faced numerous amounts of business issues that really would be impossible to count on one hand. On 2 hands. Maybe if you use your feet, you could probably... Will Disney pick it up? Will they see a potential in it? Granted, Disney owns a lot of things, so I could be way out in left field here. But I really haven't played too many Disney games that I've actually enjoyed. In fact, I really can't name a whole bunch. Epic Mickey. Only time will tell. And when it does, I'll be reporting on it here. Now that we're back on the topic of games, which is where we should be, let me talk about a new game that I've just recently tried out that has been suggested to me by a friend, and that game is League of Legends. Passive Lion, how could you have not played League of Legends? And you call yourself a gamer? Well, yes, I know, it's sad. I originally thought League of Legends wasn't free to play, and I'm generally more attracted to free-to-play games. But League of Legends really wasn't in my top 10 list. In fact, I really hadn't given it much thought. But then once I heard the game explained to me, once I heard 2 of my friends in a conversation using heavy amounts of League of Legends jargon, and describing detailed battle plans, and throwing around champion names left and right, this and this and that and this, well, naturally, I was very interested. I'm a sucker for strategy, and League of Legends is one of the most strategic games I've played in a while. So I gave it a shot. Why not, right? So first thing I do is I go onto the website, I click on the big play for free button, love that button, and they immediately want me to create an account. Well now, as I understand, League of Legends really has 2 accounts. You have your main account, and then you have your summoner account. Me being who I am, I always name myself the Passive Lion. And then I decide to create my summoner name. And the name that I input, of course, is the Passive Lion. But it was not available for me to use. Now, it didn't tell me that the name was already taken, so I definitely know there is not another Passive Lion running around out there. Instead, it said the name was physically impossible for me to have because it broke profanity filters. Passive Lion. Can someone please tell me how Passive Lion would break profanity filters? Passive Lion. Ah, yeah. So, I couldn't have Passive Lion, but that didn't stop me. So instead of creating some weird, wacky, fictional name from some high fantasy book, I went with a modified version of Passive Lion, and instead I inserted 2 5s instead of the S. Now I'm Passive Lion, which is kind of the same. If you look at it and kind of turn your head a bit, you can see it's like, oh, it's an S. So, in case you're curious, I am playing on the North American servers under the name Passive Lion, 2 5s instead of S's. I've gotta say that my favorite champion to play as right now is Gary. Now, it's generally said that when you play as Gary, you spin to win. And while I do absolutely love his spin ability, I wouldn't consider Judgment as the final end-all be-all to Gary. There's so much more to his character you could possibly do, and it's so much fun being a lane bull. I solo top and generally try and push people out of that lane and stop them from leveling up. It's kind of a win-win situation in which I win 2 times. Real quick, I should probably give you guys my secret to how I play so well with Gary. It's very simple. It just involves 2 steps. The first step is to play this clip before you enter any battle.
You feel dead.
The second step is to play like me. That probably really didn't help anybody out. Or it might have. If it did, let me know. I don't know, I haven't really played League of Legends long enough to give League of Legends tutorials yet, or guides. But I'll get there. Give me some time, come on. But if any of you are curious to test me out, I will be on the North American server under the name Passive Lion, as I mentioned before, playing as most likely Gary. Assassin's Creed 3 and Black Ops 2. Let me start with Assassin's Creed 3. This game has gotten amazing reviews. In fact, they've got an entire trailer that's just dedicated to showing off all the different reviews that they've gotten for the game. They shove it in your face. Best rated game with the best storytelling, the historical gameplay, and innovative, crazy, distant, well, counter Kenway. That's great and everything, but really I was hoping for a lot more. I've never been a huge fan of the Assassin's Creed franchise, and I really feel kind of bad saying that, considering I haven't even tried out the second game. The first one really didn't capture me. While it was innovative for its time, it just didn't possess the kind of story that I was looking for. And Assassin's Creed 3 was very similar in those respects. It was very stereotypical and took you through all the different events and was really slow. And it wasn't the history aspects that bored me. No, quite the contrary. I absolutely loved the history of the game. In fact, walking through some of the towns, like walking through Boston Harbor or New York, were some of the most interesting things. The amount of detail and depth they placed into those environments was invigorating. That's all I was doing. Walking! And the fast travel, and all the loading. Loading here, loading there, everything had a little load to it. I can't tell you how many times I was blinded by the screen flashing white, and then my character walking in white oblivion for who knows how long. So I finally got to my destination, where I'd have to fast travel again to get to the next location. To then go through a semi-dry cutscene before I got to a really interesting bit of gameplay. I also didn't like the fact that I had to play through 3 different characters before I got to the real Connor, the actual Connor that's featured on the front of the box. Okay, so that was my little rant about the first third of Assassin's Creed. The rest of it was pretty smooth sailing. Speaking of sailing, the best part about it was the ships, but once you've done one ship battle, you've pretty much done them all. It's kind of like Star Wars The Old Republic and their on-rails space system. Some of you guys are probably really confused right now, while the other half are laughing so hard. Or no one's laughing at all. It's hard to tell sometimes. You're so quiet. I like that about you. Now, moving on. So, Black Ops 2. Best thing about Treyarch games, of course, the zombies. Can't get enough of them. And now that they've added their new transit system, I feel even more like a part of the cast of The Walking Dead. It's incredible. Fight through a location, then get on a bus, and then travel down to another location, and then fight through that location, and then there's zombies coming at you, you gotta get back on the bus, and you gotta assemble different pieces to upgrade your bus, and get new parts, and open new areas, and fight a big boss. It's crazy. Now, the multiplayer is also really strong. I gotta say, though, that I do miss Black Ops 1, because there were some things that you could do with the customization that they've kind of taken away with this one. At least they didn't get rid of the wager matches, except you're not wagering anything for them, so now they're not wager matches anymore, they're party games, which has a lot more fun, in my opinion. So you'll also find me playing Black Ops 2 in my spare time, with the gamer tag, need I say it. Thank goodness PSN did not get on my case about the Passive Lion. Well, that's all great and good, Passive Lion. I can see that you are keeping up to date with what's going on in the gaming industry. But tell me, Passive Lion, do you have any new personal news, perhaps? Well, I'm glad you asked, or at the very least, I'm glad you let me ask for you. If you guys haven't already heard, Vic Mignogna has joined the cast of Redemption the Series. If you have no idea what Redemption the Series is, then definitely check out this link here. I'm not even sure if I'm pointing in the right direction. I think I am. Yeah. Now, this link will take you to Redemption the Series official channel, where you can check out all of these videos and cool stuff and learn exactly what that is. It's a brand new animated series that I'm a part of, that I'm voicing the main character for, and it's starting up, it's brand new, it's cool, it's fun, and so the link will remain up there, and I'm tired of pointing my finger now, so I shall put this finger down, and click on it at your leisure. It'll take you to a bunch of videos for Redemption series, and all of this stuff, and this and that, this and that. Support! It needs support, it needs you guys! The most important part of all of this, any of this, really, you guys know that by now, because you're YouTube viewers, so... Now, the video that I want you guys to pay special attention to is this one.
So when I was contacted by the Redemption people and they said, would you be maybe interested in being part of this in some way? I was like, yes, I would love it. So I want you guys to know that I'm a part of this. I'm very excited about it. I think it's got a great deal of potential.
That's right, Vic Mignogna has joined the cast of Redemption the series. I've got to be honest, I was completely intimidated. Like, freaking out. Like, bawling in a corner with a stuffed animal kind of freaking out. I mean, after going through the voiceover sessions and taking a look at some of the work that I did about 2 years ago, I thought to myself, okay, I can do a lot better now. And especially knowing that Vic Mignogna has joined the cast, I've got to do a whole lot better now. Having the chance to voice a character alongside Vic Mignogna is a tremendous honor. It really is. I'm amazingly flattered, and I'm so glad that he spent the time at BonsaiCon to make the short little video that's on Redemption's channel right now. So, if you are a Vic Mignogna fan, aka a Risen Bull Ranger, then check out the Facebook page, check out the Twitter, check out the YouTube, subscribe, friend, follow, all that fun stuff. You guys know what I'm talking about. And make sure to tell them that Passive Lion sent you. It's like a circus act. I can balance him on top of his head. No! So with all that said, I'm really glad to be back doing this vlog stuff and doing tutorials, and I promise I'm gonna get back onto those comments and start helping you guys out again with some of the issues. I know I've been kind of on and off. Don't worry. Don't be afraid to look me up in some of those games that I've mentioned and send me a friend request. I'll accept. You send me a challenge, I'll accept that too. Come on. For all of you who sat through this video and got through all of my horribly corny jokes, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. For all of you who clicked away or went somewhere else while this video was playing and I did not capture your interest, well, you're probably not here right now watching this portion, so I'm not even sure why I'm addressing you. Therefore, since you're not watching the video, I can pretty much say anything I want about you, so therefore, don't forget, guys, to subscribe. That's the most important part. If you like what you saw, please subscribe, like the video, dislike the video. I'll take that too. Any kind of feedback is great for me, really. Just to traffic, getting this going, sharing the video, and getting the views up, and making more videos and entertaining people. It's the whole YouTube scene, right? So subscribe. That button will always be up there. If you haven't clicked it, it will be bright and flashing. If you have clicked it, thank you very much. As always, you can check out my Facebook and my Twitter, my website. I'm still working on it. And now, for this vlog's bonus question. Who is my neighbor? Got you with that one, didn't I? Ho ho ho! As always, this has been your friendly neighborhood Passive Lion, signing out.